time, so let's just see where she hits the bell, but she's going to have a big lead already.
Well, a statement of intent certainly on this first lap for Caster Semenya. Look at that, 10-metre gap already coming down in front of us in our comparative position. 56 and bits for the first 400, and it's the Semenya show. She's out on her own in front, the others trailing in her wake. Ian Saba just coming through to try and take closer order in second place, overtaking Gaul, but Semenya is off and away, 500 gone, and Semenya running her own race. Yesterday, which double she likes, whether it's 800, 1500, or she prefers 4 and 8. So she said, you know what, I wouldn't mind doing all three, and you know, she's capable of doing that, and the lead is getting more and more. Less than 200 to go. Semenya in a class apart here, and the rest just trailing in her wake. Ian Saba has got Gaul for company, but Caster Semenya here. Let's keep an eye on the clock. Remember that time, 1:54.25 she ran in Monaco. She's going to be pretty close to that. That was the 4th fastest in history. Even talk earlier on tonight of a possible world record attempt. This is quick. This is very quick indeed. 1:55.27. It's not quite as quick as Monaco. RJ Wilson comes through to take second place. And Caster Semenya, well, who needs pacemakers when you've got that talent and the way of running any way you want? She went out hard. The first 200 set the tone for the rest of the race. And the rest, well, it was a foregone conclusion. 1:55.27, and Caster Semenya is Diamond League champion in the 800 metres for the 3rd consecutive time.
Race that she obviously set a stall out to really go for it tonight. I think she'll be disappointed with that time, to be honest. I think if you go through 55 and bits and you come home with 1:55, well, the women's javelin ended up being a pretty good competition. Cara Winger in round 3 produced the season's best, which at that point, having led very early in the competition, others had gone past her, but that moved her back into second place. In the end, that would be good enough to leave her in 3rd in the overall competition. But a 64.75 for the American, was absolutely delighted with that. That was quickly followed by this throw here. Liu with a big effort. And you can see there the response from the crowd. 66 meters exactly, and for a long time that looked as though it would be the win. In fact, she passed in rounds 4 and 5. Kaladovic had improved in round 3, but then all of a sudden, right at the end of the competition, she unleashed the 2nd best throw of her career. 66 to steal the competition. Liu trying to respond, had one more throw, wasn't able to go any further. So Kaladovic, who had a disappointing European Championships, where she only finished 5th, having gone in as the European lead in Berlin, she gets some consolation tonight, winning the Diamond League. 66.99 the winning throw.
Tom Walsh in the circle, his 2nd round throw, looking to improve on 21.06. Oh, that's huge. That's well over 22 metres. He likes that enormously, does Tom Walsh. And that, you know, could well be a meeting record. Meeting record held by Darren Hill. Darren Hill, who's here, the reigning Diamond League champion. 22.56, he set that. Oh, Tom Walsh has absolutely nailed that 2nd round throw. 21 some of the field events earlier on today. Nothing subpar about that at all.
Well, this is Darrell Hill after a 22-23, good throw in the 2nd round. Walsh went further, but it was a good response from the American. He knows he's in really good form here in Zurich. Walsh with that 22-16 round 2, but in round 3, Darrell Hill improving. That's his 3rd throw of the evening. Over meters, 22.40, solid in 2nd place.
So Ryan Krauser then, how can he follow that? Olympic champion, big man who won on the key side in Monaco earlier. That's over 22 metres as well, so the big fellas really starting to push out the boundary there, peppering that 22-metre line with ease, it seems. Walsh has gone to 22.60. Hill, we've
3,000 steeplechase. So Sasayui has been asked to go through the first kilometre at 2:37. Normally at these meets you tend to see them looking at more the sort of 2:40 thereabouts, but 2:37 was pretty quick. So it'll be interesting to see which of the main contenders decide to slot in early, and it's Kipruto who's just 3-4 meters behind the two pacemakers at this point. So Sasayui and Kipsang got a big job to do here, get this race going, keep going as long as they can, and hope that the big names have got it in their legs tonight to get us under 8 minutes here.
Well, a slight question mark still over Kipruto and his fitness. I was talking to his agent, Michel Boateng, yesterday. Very close to pulling him out of the race in Birmingham, which you remember a few weeks ago he actually won, Kipruto. He estimates he's about 90% fit this evening, Kipruto. He's looking pretty good there. Keegan we saw there as well. He fell very awkwardly in Birmingham and badly twisted his ankle, so we'll have to keep a close eye on him, particularly in the latter stages of the race.
Yeah, I'd say Keegan was the most improved athlete of the year. Had a cracking early season, and Kipruto's kicked his shoe off. Now, he's got one shoe on there, and I don't know if it happened in the water jump there. Camera top of the home straight. El Bakkali must have given it a bit of a glance and thought, hello, there it is. The aforementioned shoe, someone grabbing it as a souvenir, maybe he'll hand it back to him afterwards. So, well, that's already given Kipruto more than one thing to think about. Evan Jager said he's been looking forward to this, in good shape, ready to run fast if needs to, but he seems to have taken the decision just to track El Bakkali. So they come around to complete 2 laps. Well stretched out here, Kipruto wearing one shoe, and you just wonder sometimes whether it's better to get rid of the other one as well. But the problem is wet feet. You're jumping into water here. It's not like just running on a track with bare feet as it would be for in any other normal event. So maybe the one spike will certainly help him get a little bit of traction. But you can see how far away the pacemakers are from the field.
Well, El Bakkali just starting to make his presence felt. Here it is again. Looking at the white shoe there, it just came dislodged, didn't it? Away from the heel. I'm sure many people watching will have had that experience where the shoe just comes loose at the back, and he probably did the right thing, didn't he? Just to kick it away, get rid of it.
Well, the pace at the front was spot on. Kipsang with 2:37. That was his other pacemaker was meant to go that far. He didn't. But the pack were more like 2:40, 3 seconds back there. You can see that. But El Bakkali quickly moved past Kipruto, sensing he wasn't going to go with it. But then as soon as he's done that look, he said, well, Kipruto is still in the race, he's still running, so I'll just let him go past me again or move to one side. So it's Kipruto, El Bakkali, Jager, forget the pacemaker. Kipsang is out there, they're not interested. I'm not surprised after Kipruto lost his shoe. And because he's the kind of talisman of the event, El Bakkali's not wanting to take it on. Because let's face it, at the end of the day tonight, it's not about times. There is a $50,000 prize for winning the Diamond League tonight. It is winner takes all.
It is indeed. Just wonder how much running Kipruto will do barefoot, or have done in his career barefoot. I guess, fair to say, Steve, he won't have done much wearing just one shoe. Either maybe in his early career, no shoes at all, but the sensation on the ground of having one foot bare hitting the track and the other with the shoe, that must be unusual.
So Kipruto effective out in front. Not sure how much longer he'll keep going. They're just starting to reel him in a little bit. El Bakkali, Jager, Bayo, who's had a good year as well. The Ethiopian, just 22.87 in Rabat, his season's best, but he did win in Doha at the beginning of the season. That wasn't a Diamond League event, but he did win on that occasion. Bayo had a good season since then. And Keegan trying to hang on to that lead group.
Evan Jager there, keeping in touch with the leaders. A nice little story again we picked up in the last few hours, that Evan Jager's parents and his sister have flown over from the States to be here in Zurich, but Jaeger himself doesn't know. It's a surprise trip made by the family. He may have found out by now, but certainly last night he had no idea they were coming over. And they are in the Letzi group this evening, watching on Evan Jaeger, wondering what he can do here, taking on the might of East Africa.
Well, they're ganging up on Kipruto's shoulder. Nobody wants to go past him. Bet now on the outside. Can be what? El Bakkali, Jaeger, Bayo, Bohr, Hilary Bohr still in there. So they're all just kind of waiting for Kipruto to make a move, and he's not going to do that. They've gone through in 5-4. Reasonably, so the pacemaker's 5:14. The pack were more like 5:16. So still reasonably good pace here, and still chance of a decent time. Kipruto in the middle of the pack there. The red vest of Evan Jaeger following Kipruto and Bakkali. And all of a sudden, Kipruto just maybe looking as though he's struggling a little bit as Nicholas Bett just starts to push things on a little bit. Jaeger recognises the danger, goes past Kipruto, following Bakkali as they come round with 2 to go.
Well, Bakkali, who was so strong, wasn't he, earlier in the season in Rabat. Kipruto now, as he's starting to suffer perhaps for that lack of shoe. He's still in contention. Don't write him off just yet.
Rallying the Olympic champion, the world champion. Jaeger following. El Bakkali looks ominous, doesn't he? Could be what's still hanging in there. But it's Bett at the front who's forcing the issue here. And he really is stretching them out. But El Bakkali takes on the challenge. Kipruto trying to follow. Jaeger struggling somewhat now as others fall away. Bayo coming back into it. 600 meters to go. Still in with a chance here. Jaeger, the one who looks to be working the hardest. Looking for a sign of this water jump. Bakkali clear. Kipruto through. Bayo, as Bett looks behind, he may have just gone a little bit too early there. The diminutive Kenyan. And now, and Bakkali takes a trip on the curb. Not sure who that was, or whether he just was looking around, which he's been doing so much, Bakkali. Whether he just caught his own foot on the curb. We'll have another look at that in a second, with 400 meters to go.
Well, extraordinary incident. Jaeger now takes full advantage. Jaeger now, with his parents watching on, hits the front. Kipruto coming back.
Jaeger has to stretch it out. He knows he doesn't quite have the pace. El Bakkali doesn't want to wait any longer, and away he goes. El Bakkali stretching away, and look at the response from Kipruto. This is the old Kipruto, keeping El Bakkali in sight. Now it's partly about technique, and it's all about speed as well. Matching the two together. 2 more barriers. One is the water jump. El Bakkali attacks it. Kipruto hurdles it. Not much quarter given. El Bakkali, another look behind. Kipruto. And now the charge comes. 1 more barrier. El Bakkali stutters. He's clear. Kipruto's coming. He's charging. This is going right to the line. Who's going to get it? It's Kipruto! What a race. Arms aloft. The other collapses to the floor, and then he joins him. Well, we had drama all the way through. The man with 1 shoe wins the Diamond League. Conseslus Kipruto. The time doesn't matter. It was all about getting the victory, and he had to fight so hard for it there. Bett had to go with 2 laps to go. Jaeger had to go with 1 lap to go. Then El Bakkali attacked, but Kipruto stood strong.
World champion, of course, from London, and a Diamond League record to boot. The Diamond Trophy goes to New Zealand.
Well, I'm surprised at the start they didn't bring them up, because there was a little bit of noise. Asher Smith gets a good start, so does Ahure, so does Talu. Ahure leading this at the moment. Asher Smith starting to come through, but look at Talu. It's Ahure and Talu. Ahure is going to steal it. Ahure wins 11.01. She got a great start. She got into the lead, And when you'd expect the others to come back at her, you'd expect the surge from Asher Smith, you'd expect Talou to come back, they didn't. And she stayed.
And men's 1500 metres then. Well, away they go, 3 3/4 laps of the track. Menangoy, we know, likes to front run. Chariot as well with that leaning style. The pace, well, they've asked for 150, which is pretty breezy through 800 metres. That'll be Kavuva to take them through the first 2 laps. And then through 1,000 metres, a kilometre in just outside 2:18. Chariot and Menangoy, surely the standout Kenyans.
Well, it's an ambitious pace they've asked for, but Chariot in great shape, obviously, after that superb run in Monaco. Menangoy, after a new personal best at 800 metres, he must feel he's got the pace in his legs to cope with that. So, no surprise that they want to stretch this out, make it hard for everybody else, and assume that they're going to be the ones going under 3:30 if they can maintain the pace here. So let's keep an eye on it. 54.71, pretty good at the front, not too fast. And I would say, I'm just looking on this, yeah, about 55.5 for Menangoy. And I think that's pretty good. I think, you know, if you say 150, us, the pacemaker's 150, you're looking for about 151, 152, and then kind of pick it up from there. But look how stretched out they are, Chris.
Yeah, and that's a sign of how breezy it is. Suleiman there is leading the way if you ignore the pacemakers, with Menangoy in back. Ingebrigtsen there just breaking up the East African domination here. But coming up to 800 metres.
Yeah, we'll get a good indication. Yeah, I love the fact that Ingebrigtsen just doesn't mind. He's racing this, you know, that's what he's doing. He's putting himself right in there in the mix, and look, it's dropped off the pace quite significantly. So now we're going to be into a really interesting period of this, because Quebec can't pick it up from here. It's dropped too much. He's just going to have to be out there. In fact, that's it. He's going to step off now. So now we're going to be looking for either Chariot or Menangoy to get this moving if they do want to stretch it, and if they do want to get a quick time.
Well, Quebec still leading the way. The second pacemaker will take them through another 200 metres. But behind him, Chariot, and then Menangoy, the world champion. Suleiman has just dropped back. Tefera, we haven't mentioned him so far, the 18-year-old, hugely talented Ethiopian. He's still in the mix, and also Ingebrigtsen. Astonishing European championships for the Ingebrigtsens, notably, of course, Jakob, the younger. He's not here. They hit the bell with 400 to go. Menangoy stalking. He likes to do, front running. Menangoy, Suleiman, Ingebrigtsen in there as well, breaking up the monopoly of the East Africans. But it's Timothy Chariot leading the way, the 22-year-old. Menangoy coming back at him as well, down the back straight with 250 to go. And these two pulling well clear, these two teammates. Menangoy taking it on here. They're sprinting for home already with 200 to go. Chariot front leading, the forward leading style, just getting a metre on Menangoy. Chariot, the defending champion in the Diamond League, going for a second successive title. Here he comes into the final straight, less than 100 to go, and Chariot once again surely has got this one. What has Menangoy got? Higuita coming back as well, but Chariot in a class of his own. Menangoy is fading. Higuita's going to come home to take second place. Chariot comes home 3:30.26. It's not quite as quick as Monaco. Menangoy gave it a good go, but faded in the end. Suleiman came home as well. Well, Chariot confirming what we suspected. He has been the supreme operator over 1500 and the mile in 2018, and once again comes home and retains his Diamond League title. Timothy Chariot.
Consistently over 850. That's another decent start. He makes kind of 840, 850 just look routine, doesn't he? A little backward lean there, a little bit ragged on that occasion. He's such a great athlete, Manyonga. He's already looking, isn't he, coming in there, but perhaps not one of his best efforts, but still a very solid start. 8:32 for Manyonga to get his competition underway. Well, that'll keep them entertained on the back straight throughout the rest of the evening. He takes the early lead. Well, now we we move on to the 400-metre hurdles for women. This is Sage Watson of Canada. She'll start in lane 8. From Alberta, Ailey Doyle, whose season started so well indoors and medal at the Commonwealth Games. That's where she ran her season's best in April, but then injury threatened to completely ruin the rest of the summer, but she went to the Europeans and is looking for some. Lane 6, Ailey Doyle, Great Britain in 7, Watson of Canada in lane 8. Little has started very, very quickly, as has Dalilah Muhammad. Leah Sprunger yet to get into this, but she will finish strongly. So it's Dalilah Muhammad down the back straight in lane 5. Janeve Russell will now know that Muhammad started much more quickly. Little trying to stay with Dalilah Muhammad. If anything, Shamir Little just rising first there. Janeve Russell with a little bit of work to do here. And Leah Sprunger has a long, long way behind at this point. Georgianne Moline having a good run in lane 2. So it's Muhammad, the Olympic champion, from Shamir Little. Georgianne Moline on the inside. Janeve Russell coming. Ailey Doyle not too far away here. Muhammad, one more barrier, takes it well. Shamir Little trying to close down, but she's not going to catch her. Dalilah Muhammad wins again. Little, then Russell, tight between Sprunger and Doyle. I think Sprunger maybe just finishing ahead of the British athlete. Well, Dalilah Muhammad attacked this from the beginning, was never really headed for a short while down the back straight, maybe through 200 metres. It looked as though Shamir Little might get on term. So Stefanidi had one failure at 4.77. Like Sandy Morris, cannot afford to fail here. And she doesn't, just a little hint of catching the bar there. And look what that means to her. Well, this competition really on between these two now. First time clearances at 4.82. Just the slightest of contact there. Stays on though. Stefanidi clear. Sandy Morris.
Competition got underway. It's been a busy evening of field events here. Here is Badlec from Czech Republic with his opening throw, and that's over 80 metres. Well, we talked about the Germans at the top of the programme, dominating here, as they did in Berlin at the European Championships. Well, don't write this young man off. Badlec, the defending champion, if we can call him that, winner of the Diamond League title 12 months ago, and an opening throw of 80.54.
Here's Andreas Hoffmann. No Johannes Vetter, of course, for Germany, still well represented with Hoffmann. That's a decent start for him. Silver medalist in Berlin, behind his teammate Thomas Rohler, who we're yet to see here.
Lyles in 6, Wilson, the home favourite, in 7, Richards, Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8. The men's 200 metres.
Well, Lyles admits he hasn't got the best of starts. He's been working on that in his 100 metres. Richards has gone off very well indeed. But as the race unfolds and the transition comes through, here comes Noah Lyles. Guliev in his wake, also going well is Brown, but Noah Lyles is a class apart. He's stretching away and walk in the park. 1966, just outside his season's best, and it's all smiles for Noah Lyles. It equals the meeting record set by Usain Bolt back in 2012. Well, Noah Lyles, he talks a good game. He says, I'm confident, I love being the centre of attention, but I want to remain humble at the same time. It's a fine balance to pull off, but you know what? I think Noah Lyles is getting that balance right. He does his talking on the track. It has in fact been rounded up 1967, just outside that meeting record. But it's not about times tonight. It's all about winning the race. And look at that roar, Steve, at the beginning. It wasn't the sort of thing that Usain Bolt did, but he had all sorts of little tricks.
Well, not too much has happened since we last had the long jump. This is Marcus Dendy. We've seen Manyonga go out to an 8:32 lead. Well, that's not going to challenge it. Maybe just struggling with on the back straight, the long jumpers. Well, the wind is almost non-existent, it has to be said. Manyonga leading 8:32, Samai 8. Beyond 8 metres as well. In fact, there's only 3 of the men that have gone over. That's 8 metres 9, though. He'll add to that, Marcus Dendy. So moves him into 3rd place. 8:13 in the first round. This is the second round. Well, that could well be an improvement. That's not far off. I mean, sometimes those graphic lines on the sand are a little bit misleading. He's all arms and legs, isn't he, Samai, when he gets in the air. He's got good speed. And getting that rotation going. Well, he's improved. He's not going to take the lead, though. 8:30 for Samai, stays in 2nd place. So for now, Hassan and Obiri and Dibaba will concentrate on this 5,000 metres. Plus, I'm pretty sure others in there, like Rengaruk and Tirop, and Gide perhaps, who'll be watching to see if the big names falter. So they've asked for a really good pace here, 2:50. That is actually world record pace, but whether or not they maintain that, I'm not sure. Police is a good pacemaker, she'll get them going. And then Kite and Chirono, the idea is that they'll move it on, hopefully maybe getting towards 3,000 metres. I suspect that we may just see this start quickly and then slow down.
Very, very interested to see what sort of shape Dibaba's in. She hasn't raced much this year. Only 5 races. She's won 4 of them, in fairness. Hassan, very much the form athlete, as you were saying, Steve. Not just that wonderful win in Berlin, but did really well in London and Birmingham as well. Tirop, who won in Birmingham. So there's plenty of quality in there. McCorgan as well, of course, who had that terrific performance in Berlin as well.
Well, she had that incredible scenario, didn't you, with Hassan was racing on what was actually the penultimate lap with Solteta, who won the 10,000 metre gold medal. She got herself mixed up, and then of course Eilish McColgan was able to take advantage of that mistake and win the silver medal behind Hassan. It was a great run. Hassan totally dominant. McColgan, an excellent silver medal behind her. So Hassan just slotted in a little further down the pack as they complete 600 metres, and they're lapping in around 69 seconds or so. So that's a little bit more sensible, 14.5-minute pace there, thereabouts.
Go back to the pole vault. Sidorova then. At 4:82, and she's got it. She's alive, and she joins Morris and Stefanidi. Nice little shot there of the other Greek, Volta Kyriakopoulou. Further evidence of the great spirit between the competitors. That was last chance saloon stuff from Sidorova at 4:82, but she made it. And the Sandy Morris squeal is infectious.
25, 14, 30 range, were they to keep that up. And you can see what's happened here. We've broken apart these group of Kenyan, Ethiopian, 1 or 2 others. Obviously Hassan, the Dutch athlete, in there. But Teferi just on the outside. There's a big gap to Eilish McColgan, smaller gap to Barta McCourtney, and McCourtney, I was calling that the European Championships, Melissa Courtney and Kloster Halford of Germany. So Police has done her job. She starts to separate.
Go back to the men's javelin here with Andreas Hoffmann, one of the 3 Germans in action. And he's roaring that one out of the stadium. Oh, look at that! Over 90 metres, just shy of the world lead, but Hoffmann, we know what he's capable of. He's done it before, and that has amongst the pigeons there. Magnus Kjært, remember, was leading on 87.57, but that from Hoffman has blown it out of the water, well over 90 metres. 91.44, a clear lead for Andreas Hoffman.
And the goal up down the back straight. So Obiri leading, then Tirop, Kip Karui having a great race. Teferi tucked in there, the former world silver medalist. And there's Hassan, and look at Dibaba, 2-3 meters there. Working hard. There was a time when this would be fairly comfortable for her, and you wouldn't see her suffering at this stage of the race. But Dibaba having to work hard, really hard to stay with them. Coming down with 3 laps to go now. The last 2 laps was 74, then a 73. This one's picked up a little bit. And it'll only get quicker, you feel, from here on in. 3 to go. Obiri leads.
Well, for me, Hassan now starting to move through the field. She was 6th, remember. She picked off Dibaba. She's now up into 4th place and just effortlessly moving through the field as we get into the business end of this race. Teferi still in there as well. Kip Karui, who was 2nd in Zurich in this equivalent event 12 months ago. But it's Obiri who continues to shoulder the responsibility of leading them away.
Look at Tirop, looks comfortable. Teferi looks good. Hassan just having a little look across, isn't she? And they've slowed so much that Dibaba's got back onto them here as they go through 4,000 meters. 11:47. That's the slowest kilometer. Not surprising with those laps of 73 and 74 in the middle. They picked it up to a 71, but it's slowed again. Obiri doesn't want. They've got just over 2 laps to go. Hassan lurking, looking ominous. She won't do anything until she needs to, doesn't always. They start to pick it up. Dibaba's got no answer here. So it's Hassan, and Obiri starts to follow. Teferi the first to go down the back straight. Tirop still hanging in there, but it doesn't look as though she's got the pace. And look at Obiri. Hassan tries to hold her off, but Hellen Obiri with those arms hitting high. Elbows flailing out behind her. Dibaba's got nothing to give. It's Hassan versus Obiri. Round the top bend, look how quick they're going. The crowd are loving this. Surely Hassan's got another effort to make. Can Obiri stay strong under the attack from Hassan? It's Obiri and Hassan. Hassan's trying to get there. She's gonna win this. Hellen Obiri hanging on. Obiri gets it. Hassan second. Then Teferi. Kip Karui and Tirop coming ahead of Genzebi Dibaba. Well, well, well. The script says the 1500 meter runner should win at the end, but you know, Hellen Obiri was a
68. Johannes Vetter, the 3rd German who ordinarily would have been here, but it's Weber who makes up the German trio. And that's short of
some eyes to say, well, what did we expect? Luva Manyonga wins the Diamond League long jump. He had to throw himself at that, didn't he? It was a little bit ragged again. Not at his best tonight. But 2 in 2nd place, and Frayne 8:16, just 1 centimetre ahead of Gale, who was 4th.
And so then to the final of the men's 400 metres, the last individual event on the track here in Zurich. And this is an event that's been fascinating all year, dominated by Abderrahman Samba from Qatar, who's sadly not here. He's been at the Asian Games. So let's take you through. Cornel Fredericks goes in lane 8 for South Africa, former Commonwealth Games champion. Rasmus Maggi from Estonia in 7th, European silver on this track 4 years ago at the European Championships. TJ Holmes, American number 2 from Florida, 4th places in Rome, Oslo, Paris and Lausanne this year. Lane 5, probably the favourite, talented, the world champion and now the European champion as well, Karsten Warholm. Charismatic, intelligent, witty, has had some great battles with Samba over the last 12 months. Capello, Yasmani Capello from Turkey, Cuban born, who's played not 2nd but 3rd fiddle to Varholm and Samba this year for most of the season. Now, what can Kieran McMaster do? He is the reigning Diamond League champion. He won this race last year. He's been out with a hip flexor injury for much of the season, but he's now back and firing on all cylinders. For Sean Jackson, 35 years young, well, probably his last season. He came out of retirement 13 years ago. He won the world title. And on the inside, 4 times Italian champion, Jose Reinaldo Bencome de Leon. But this really is all about the start of Varholm and the finish, possibly, of McMaster from the British Virgin Islands. Karsten Varholm, there he is, likes to go out hard, uncompromisingly so. Capello has tried to get near this season and hasn't been able to do so, even in Berlin. Fredericks in 8, Margie Estonia in 7, Holmes USA in 6, Varholm, the world champion, in 5, Capello from Turkey in 4, McMaster, the winner of the Diamond Trophy last year, goes in 3, Sean Jackson, the former world champion, in his final season in lane 2, and Bencome, the Italian, in lane 1. The men's 400 metres hurdles. Varholm was asked about Samba not being here in Zurich, and he said, you know what, I haven't lost any sleep about it, but I have been thinking about him more than I have about my own girlfriend this season. That's how much their rivalry has mattered here. And Varholm has gone out well, but also as TJ Holmes. TJ Holmes is going stride for stride. Look for McMaster in the middle of the picture there in the orange vest as well. But Varholm and TJ Holmes leading here. McMaster likes to come good strong at the end. Varholm has gone out hard again. It's the only way he knows, but McMaster, look for him. He came back strongly last year, a year ago. Is he going to do the same here in 2018? Here comes McMaster from lane 3. It's a fight for the line for the two of them. McMaster, oh my word, on the line. Varholm just getting home, did he? Big question mark. He got the flying start, 48.09 the winning time. That is desperately close. It's a photo finish. It could go down to the thousandth, surely. We're still waiting for official confirmation.
So just 2 throws left. Kurt can't be caught. Roller just behind him. And red flag there for Magnus Kurt, so he'll stay in second place. Another huge roar from Hoffman. It's a good throw.
Switzerland, the senior team, in 5. Great Britain, the world leaders, in 4. Jamaica in 3. Italy go in 2. And the Swiss junior team complete the lineup in lane 1. Jamaica won this race last year by just 100th of a second from Great Britain last year.
Well, Asher Smith on lead-off got Great Britain and Northern Ireland off to a roaring start, and she's done it again. A great job eating into the Swiss team. Hands over to the hugely talented Imani Lara Lancico. Great Britain going nicely down the back straight. And over to Bianca Williams on third leg. The baton safely round so far. Also going well, the Swiss. Baton in hand, Kambunji has had a storming third leg. Dina Asher-Smith has baton in hand, but she's got work to do. She's got to make up some ground here, but here comes Asher-Smith. Asher-Smith, has she got enough left in the legs after a long, hard season? Of course she has. Dina Asher-Smith, just as she did in Berlin 18 days ago, brings home the baton. In this case, took it home in second place. She took the baton in 4th in Berlin, but the result was the same, and Great Britain bring it home for victory here to take the Zurich Trophy and round off what has been a fabulous, fabulous evening here at the Diamond League final, the first of 2. Dina Asher-Smith, 3 gold medals at the European Championship.